And we have Joey Ellis from Impact 89 FM at Michigan State's student radio station over there in East Lansing. He's a sports writer over there. Joey, it's great to have you back on the program.
It's great to be here.
All right, so let's talk about Michigan State football. They got obviously a big week coming up against their biggest rival, Michigan, this week at home. But on Saturday, lost their fifth straight game to Maryland, a team that I figured Michigan State could come out and get their confidence back coming into this week. What lost them that game on Saturday night in College Park?
Well, first time losing 5 straight games since '91, and they definitely squandered many chances to score. I mean, they were in that game 14-all, just about ready to head into the half, and they decided to run a horribly ran fake field goal run when Geiger took it to the short side of the field instead of just going for 3. It would have given them a 17-14 lead at the break with maybe a little momentum boost heading into the second half. The offensive line wasn't horrible, but, once again, you have the young guys like Tyler Higbee, Theo Lacusa, who definitely bode well for the future, but, Lewerke played okay. They definitely had a lot more designed rollout plays so he could avoid a lot of the rush that Maryland was going to be dialing up with that weak O-line for MSU.
Yeah, the rushing game was kind of a bright spot, I thought. Did a good job. They ran for 270 yards, 6 yards a carry. It just seems like they're so one-dimensional right now.
Yeah, they definitely are, and of those 170, Lewerke had 79. So I don't know if that looks good on the stat sheet, or a lot of it was generated by Lewerke. But L.J. Scott definitely had a better game. Gerald Holmes he played pretty solidly. But yeah, they definitely, it just seems like they lack the potential on the outside to really have any big playmakers through the air, at least.
Mm-hmm. You wrote an opinion piece for the website over there a few weeks back about offensive coordinator Dave Warner. You said, he was the problem. It wasn't Tyler O'Connor. Obviously, they went with Lewerke now at quarterback. But do you still think Warner is the problem, his play calling, and what should they be doing differently?
Yeah, I still think he definitely plays a big part in it. It also goes to the clientele that they're working with. They don't have much offensive weapons to work with, so the play calling definitely doesn't get as expanded as you'd like. But yeah, Lewerke definitely gives you, I think, more potential than O'Connor or even Terry at QB. He can, as you saw when he rolls out, he had some pretty big runs. Throwing, he was okay, and just but yeah, I think it all comes back to play calling with the quarterback play and just with what they're able to work with.
And then on the flip side, defensively now in recent weeks seems to be a little bit of a problem. Maryland put up 28 on Michigan State, the same team that got destroyed by Minnesota at home, and scored only 10 points in that game. So is just the offense putting them in a bad position, or is there some lapses on defense too?
Well, at first I thought initially that the offense inability to stay on the field really hurt MSU's defense, having to continuously be out there and just get worn down throughout games. But now I think it's definitely just problems on both sides of the ball. Tyler Johnson, Maryland sophomore running back, he only carried it 9 times, but he had 115 yards. Mm-hmm. And they ran the ball at will against MSU's defense, and the pass defense has been suspect all year and really continued with Hills. He went 21-27 with 200 yards through the air, also no interceptions. So I think the problems are now spread on both sides of the ball. And Malik McDowell played a decent game. He's about the only bright spot on that D-line right now.
And now moving on to this week, Michigan State, Michigan in East Lansing. Michigan State's owned Michigan in terms of wins and losses over the past 8 games in the series. Michigan State has home field advantage. But they're 2-5 right now. Michigan's 7-0. some places are saying this is Vegas has, I've seen 23.5-point favorite for Michigan on the road. So it's obviously if Michigan State wins, it'll be an upset. What are the chances you think that Michigan State can win 4 straight over Michigan in the rivalry? I mean, do they have a shot?
Judging from how the season's gone so far, it's hard to say that, barring a miraculous miracle, even at home, that MSU could pull off a win. Coming off last year's crazy game, as we remember, in the Big House, I think it was different. MSU, though people didn't think they deserved to win that game, that season they were a good team. This year, things have just switched horribly, and I don't see them really putting up a big chance to give themselves a shot at winning this game.
Oh, so don't have a big chance, but what is one thing Michigan has to be careful of from Michigan State? One area you think that they're going to be able to do well against Michigan on Saturday?
It may not be something really to do with on either side of the ball. I could see Coach D'Antonio just pulling something out of his sleeve. I think I could see something in terms of that. In terms of offense and defense, I think he'll get maybe some sort of trick play in a big spot that could kind of gain some momentum early in the game. I think it's going to be something with the coaching more so than the play of the offense or the defense.
That'll be an interesting matchup, D'Antonio against Harbaugh. Now, finally, score prediction for the game on Saturday, Michigan State.
I just really don't see MSU able to keep up with Michigan in terms of scoring, and then also having to stop the Michigan offense, who's been firing on all cylinders in their last 2 games, outscored its opponents 119-8. And I just think the Michigan defense, who, with a pair of Jim Thorpe semifinalists, and then also who leads the Big Ten with 25 sacks, I think it's just going to be too much for MSU's subpar offensive line and really struggling quarterback play. So I think I'm going to go Michigan 48, MSU 14.
Okay. Wow. So that'd be over on the spread there, even if it was 23.5. All right. So you follow all of college football. So I want to ask you right now, coming off of that 8 weeks of college football, who do you think makes the playoff, and who would be your last team or a couple teams left out this year?
I think if they were to end right now, I would definitely go Alabama. It looks like they should have the SEC pretty wrapped up after beating A&M. Clemson, if they can get through Florida State this Saturday, I don't see them tripping up at all. Washington has a couple tough games on the stretch at Utah this Saturday. So they can get through all that unscathed and go undefeated. I don't see why they shouldn't be in there. And then I'm going to go with Michigan as my 4th. But it's still early to say because they're still going into Columbus. It's going to be a tough environment. But if they win out, there's no reason that they would be left out at all. And then with the 2 teams being left out, it really comes down to that winner of that Michigan-Ohio State game. I could see Ohio State being left out just with that one loss there. And then also I could see Louisville, who tripped up early against Florida State.
Yeah, I agree. My top 4 is I'd have Alabama as well. I'd keep Michigan at number 2. I think they're going to be able to win in Columbus, but like you said, the winner of that game, I would put in there. Clemson, I don't see them losing anymore, and then Washington, the Pac-12 is kind of weak. And then I'm leaving out Louisville and Baylor. I think Baylor, they could go undefeated. I just think the Big 12 is atrocious this year, so I don't think.
It's also West Virginia also could be right there.
Right, I don't see either of those teams getting in just based on no conference championship game, and it's just been pretty bad competition so far.
Yeah.
All right. We'll both be at the game on Saturday, sitting together.
Absolutely.
It'll be interesting. Michigan State, Saturday at noon. Joey Ellis from Impact 89 FM joining us here on 89.9 WTHS Holland. Joey, thanks for joining us, and I'll see you this weekend for the game.
Sounds good. See you on Saturday.
All right.